Pixar has released the very first teaser trailer for their upcoming original animation Onward, starring Chris Pratt, Tom Holland, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and Octavia Spencer. By the time this one releases in 2020, it will have been 3 years since Pixar delivered us an original non-sequel film, with Coco being the last one in 2017, and it will have been 5 years since the previous two originals, The Good Dinosaur and Inside Out, way back in 2015. Before that, Brave in 2012. In fact, over the last 10 movies spanning the last 10 years, only 4 Pixar efforts have been original stories. Needless to say, we have been clamoring for new animated adventures from Pixar in this day and age that seems totally swamped with remakes, reboots, sequels, prequels, and spin-offs. And judging by this trailer, Onward could most certainly be the one to pull Pixar out of whatever creative rut they've got themselves into this last decade. My initial thoughts, this looks very different to anything Pixar have offered us ever before, and I love that. I've seen many online commentators calling it generic looking or looking not like a Pixar movie, but I think that's what's great about this. I've been lucky enough to watch Pixar grow and evolve ever since their inception. I was 4 years old when Toy Story first came out, and remember the excitement every time Pixar put out a new and vastly different adventure. I remember the hype behind Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, Cars, Ratatouille, WALL-E, Up, and even A Bug's Life. Yes, A Bug's Life had an enormous hype behind it because it was new and it was original. When we look at these movies, they are all wildly and vastly different, not only in narrative terms, but also in visual style. Over the years, Pixar somewhat cemented a recognizable style, but with Onward, I'm feeling like the company is finally going back to its roots, trying something different and overall challenging themselves and breaking a mold, just like they did in the 1990s and early 2000s. I'm lucky enough to remember when Pixar were the only studio producing 3D animation. Now there are scores and scores of studios pumping them out almost monthly. Pixar has plenty of competition today. So, again, generic is a term that doesn't really fly with me, especially when we consider that Pixar's style was so fluid and ever-changing in the early days. This isn't a generic effort, this is just a Pixar we haven't seen before, just like the good old days of the studio. It's easy to call something generic, especially when there's so much to offer, but it's the storytelling that will set this apart from the rest. Not that the animation is bad here, I mean, this looks colourful, vibrant, and overall very pleasing. Characters look great, even if a bit cartoony, but I think it suits the movie's unique style. Even the locations look incredibly fun. The story here looks like a whole lot of fun. I love the idea of these two elf brothers searching the lands for whatever magic is left out there. I've always been a big fan of magic and fantasy, and to see Pixar pulling in so many amazing visuals and fantasy elements in this trailer alone is absolutely wonderful. We've got unicorns, mermaids, dragons, centaurs. It reminds me a little bit of the Pastoral Symphony sequence in Fantasia. I couldn't be more excited. Again, Pixar are really excelling here the way that they used to, taking a thematic element like a fantastical land and turning it on its head. What if those mystical lands we had always heard about in fairy tales turned out the same as our own? And that there is the human crux of Pixar, taking something unfamiliar and making it familiar, taking something unhuman and making it human. They did that in the early days of the world of toys, bugs, monsters, automobiles, sea life, and so on, so on. This isn't your average elf adventure, it's looking to be a real human story. And you know what? I feel like that 5-year-old again, awaiting the next big Pixar adventure, and I couldn't be happier. At that, it's over to you guys out there. I want to know, what are your thoughts on Onward so far? Are you loving it, or are you still not loving it? Also, let me know what you think about this new format for trailer reviews. Reactions and breakdowns and stuff like that really haven't been getting the views that I'd like, so I'm trying to mix it up a little bit and offer more stuff like this in the future. Of course, I'll still do a few more breakdowns, but I think I'm going to get rid of the reactions altogether. What do you guys out there think? Fire away in the comments below and let me know your thoughts. If this is your first time viewing one of my videos, you like what you've seen, you'd like to see more like this in the future, then please don't forget to hit that big old subscribe button up on your screen right now, and also hit that like button down below if you're feeling extra generous. Also, don't forget to check out my many social media accounts, and please consider supporting me over on Patreon. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day.